Hi there, everyone. Happy July. This is Akasha here, and I'm excited to do the Angel Tarot card reading for you for the month of July. So I'm just going to be shuffling the cards here and really thinking about, what this month, this is us going fully into summer. And with that, all the things that happen with summer, a lot of us get out of our normal schedules in the summer, all that sort of thing. Divine Source Energy, Spirit, Archangels, and Angels, what messages do you have for me to share for the benefit of all beings everywhere? As always, if you haven't watched any of the other card spreads that I have done for each of the months, keeping in mind that this is a spread that was given to me in meditation with Archangel Metatron. And let's get started. I'm going to shift the camera so that you can see the cards a little bit better. Perfect. So first, I usually do the cards for the angels of the horizontal plane. So those will be those 4 cards that you see right there. And then we have a card up top and a card down below. The upper card is for Metatron and the card down below is for Sandalphon. And again, these cards are in this particular pattern because this was given to me as a way for me to read the cards for the benefit of humanity here, there, and everywhere. So let's go ahead and flip the cards over and see what we have here. Oh, there's a lot of energy in these cards. And so the angels of the horizontal plane is how I'll read it first. Then I'll read the vertical plane with Sandalphon and then finish with Metatron. And I'll explain all of that as I go through. I have watched some of the other months and realized that I haven't always explained what's going on with each of the cards as well as I could. So I'm excited to share that with you. The first card is in the position of Archangel Raphael, and we have the Queen of Water card here. Really beautiful card. And so this is the direction of the east, which is, you can think of it as like the healing that is rising within you right now. And, you can see on the card that it says tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. And what's really going on here, anytime we see water happen, and it's interesting in this spread, we have water for the queen and water for the king over here. And this is some great male-female energy on either side. There's really good energy in this reading. So let me keep going here. So this healing space, this is that eastern direction. It's what you're facing that's rising inside of you for healing right now. And it's about, this particular card is about relationship, not only relationships with others going to a new level, but this is also about trusting cultivating your relationship with yourself and trusting your intuition, taking that to the next level within yourself, really caring for yourself, which naturally keeps your cup full, right? When your cup runneth over, it's easy for you to care for others. And I think that this one is really calling about your relationship with yourself, but we'll keep going here and see what resonates for you. The next position that we'll go into, we have the Two of Fire. You can see that card there. And this is in the position of Archangel Michael. And with the Two of Fire here, this is really about courage and protection as well as support. And it's at the bottom of the card, it says, you've come into your own new partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. And what this is really talking about is trusting yourself, that, you know, you are working on this healing, and you're really working with some newer layers, levels, and dimensions. And that's going to naturally open you up to a new layer, level, and dimension of self-acceptance. And as you accept yourself fully, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to move forward in a way that maybe offers you a contract or a new partnership, whether it could be business. Especially when I see contracts, that often makes me think of business. And there's some up-leveling happening here in these two positions. So in the third position, we go to Archangel Gabriel, which is Michael is the Archangel of the South, and often referred to as the protector angel. Then we move to Archangel Gabriel space here, and this is about like messages. Archangel Gabriel is about messages from God, messages from source, messages from that unified field, if you like. And the message here is just learn what you can from the situation that comes up, and really look at people's motives. So when we see air, that means things are moving fast. That means there's some mental energy, and it represents where there could be a lack of trust. So it's kind of interesting that we are moving through these deep waters of emotion and really listening to our intuition. That brings us into the space of our own, but it's almost like here we reverted to an old pattern. We went back into maybe one of those tapes that plays in your head, and some self-doubt. So it's going to be really important to just see what other people's motives are as maybe you move into this partnership. You might be getting into your head a little bit much, and you're going to get in your own way by doing this and make an unwise, it literally says an unwise choice at the bottom with this 5 of air card. So you want to be mindful to stay out of those mental narrative loops and to really stay in your heart space. And so I think it's great that when we get to the position of Archangel Uriel over here, Angel of the North, this is the space and place of knowledge and wisdom, direct from source or God, if you like that language. And this is the King of Water. And the King of Water is really about, this is the place of opening your heart and your mind to those around you. And it says trustworthy and heartfelt advice, charity work. So it's again really worth noting that we have the Queen of Water on the left, which is the feminine side, and the King of Water on the right, which is the masculine side. And then we have this 2 of Fire, which is that duality again. And then we have this 5 of Air, which is things could get a little out of balance. So be able to pay attention to the motives of those around you so that you can stay in this place of keeping your heart open and keeping your mind open, because 5 of air means you went into an old pattern and you're not really operating from your heart space. You're operating from that programmed mind space. So that'll be everything that's happening here inside of this horizontal plane. And what's really clear to me is you are moving through these new layers of self-awareness and self-trust. And by proxy, this is really requesting a new layer of self-care. And as you move into that, it naturally is cleaning up your field to attract new types of relationships, partnerships, higher vibrational contracts. And as you get into that, there's a part of you that might just like wobble for a moment. And this position, Archangel Gabriel, is really asking you to remember to pay attention to other people's motives and just learn what you can from the situation. Don't beat yourself up about it, right? Just notice when you get trapped in those old patterns or those old habits of thought. And then the King of Water, as you come through this experience, is reminding you to keep your heart open and to really keep your mind open to those that are around you and receive heartfelt advice and trustworthy advice, and to give back as you reflect on this path that you've taken in your own growth and development. This may be a place for you you may be in a place after this experience where you can turn around and give back. Maybe that's some type of scholarship, maybe it's simply time, maybe it's some type of charity work that you do at your local library, but just some way of giving back of yourself. That's really what's going on here. And now I want to bring it to Archangel Sandalphon, which is here in this lower space, again representing the feminine energy and also the energy of connection. So we want to see how all of this starts to come together and connect in our manifest reality. And so this card is the Balance card. And this Balance card here is Archangel Zadkiel, and the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. It even says wait for the perfect timing. So this is really going back to, you are in a space, or you could be in a space very soon, of really reflecting on how things are maybe a little too intense, or things are not moving as fast as you would like. Perhaps you're even noticing that there's a need for compromise because there might be a little conflict that was created here by getting in your headspace, right? By getting out of your heart and getting into your head. And this card here is really asking you to honor your intuition. You can see how there's all this purple in the card, right? All this blue in the card. So this is about you honoring your intuition, honoring your voice, and really compromising, using your language to create compromise. And that compromise is going to naturally shift things back into a balanced state, because there won't be this push. Waiting for perfect timing is a subtle art. And understanding that Archangel Sandalphon is really, this is about connection. So in order to understand perfect timing, which is always divine timing, not our timing, you're going to have to be connected to yourself and really willing to cooperate with those inner programs that might be operating, so that you can learn how to listen to your intuition and honor any compromises that may be needed along the way. And then we have, last but not least, we have the Emperor card here in the position of Metatron. And Metatron is in this space of the masculine energy, right? So if we were to think of this as the subconscious mind, we could think of this as the conscious mind. So this is what we're trying to anchor. This is the light that we're trying to anchor down into and connect with our manifest reality. And here with this particular card, the Emperor, this is really a card of leadership. It's also a card of, it's the perfect card for the conscious mind, because it literally says logic, structure, and discipline, which are all aspects of masculine energy. And it's perfect, right? Like this idea of balance and moderation and like going with the flow is very feminine energy. And again, we had these poles here of the queen and the king, of the the feminine and the masculine. Then we also have a 2, which is duality here. And we have a 5, which is really asking us to be mindful of our manifestation. That's what the 5 is really working towards here. And specifically speaking to not only the messages that we are receiving, but the messages that we are receiving from others. That's why it's going to be really important to pay attention to how you are interacting with others, because what's really going on here is an old pattern inside of yourself that is still being processed through these other layers. And it's going to come back to trusting your intuition, because as you trust your intuition, you're going to start noticing like the vibration of what you're attracting in partnerships, contracts, business changes. The key for you is to not get caught up in old mental narrative so that you can really open your heart and your mind to this new reality that you desire, and really allow yourself to navigate your path with some compassion so that you can have compassion for others, which is really where that charity work comes in. You know, one of the easiest ways to have charity in the world is to have an open heart that supports all beings everywhere. And as we think about all of this in your current reality, what's really coming in is that there is a need for balance. Something in your reality is a little out of balance. It could be, based on what I'm seeing here, it's emotional. And if you can bring your emotions into a little bit more harmony, you're going to have a lot more patience with yourself. And as you have that patience with yourself, you're going to be able to create structure and have greater discipline, which is going to allow you to step into the leadership role that this particular contract brought to the forefront. And when I'm looking at this, that's what I'm seeing as a whole, is that you getting in your head here is a little like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready to take the lead, which is really what's being asked of you from the higher aspect of yourself, to anchor that down and connect so that you can cooperate and collaborate. I think I'm going to pull one more card. I hear a yes, so I think I'm going to pull one more card and just see like what is the action step? Is there anything else? Divine Source, Energy, Spirit, Archangels, Angels. What other messages do you have for us today? Is there anything else you need us to know in regards to how to create? I really feel like it's about how to create this balance. And 10 of Earth. This is a really great card. It's about finding magic in the little things in life. And it also speaks to some financial security. So I have the feeling when I saw this pop out that if you can walk this alchemical path of weaving together this ability of trusting yourself and stepping into this leadership role and really being willing to cooperate and compromise, what's going to happen is you are going to have great success, and that is going to really allow you to find harmony, because you are going to feel like your inner and outer landscapes match. I hear jive. Such an old word, but I hear it. So everything's gelling, everything's working together. And I think this is such a great card to really like bring it all together with, which is you are going to have a happy home life. There's financial security. There's finding magic in the little things. And this is really about you finding your magic. That's what this whole reading is about. This is about you finding your magic and trusting the intuitive urges of your magic so that you can step in fully and lead from a space of balance and understanding how to allow things to unfold with divine time, not the ego-based timeline. So I hope that this has been a great reading for you and that you've enjoyed this. And I look forward to hearing how this has, supported you on your journey this month as you continue to dive into July. And as always, these readings are delivered with love and blessings. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to follow me on Instagram, Akasha Circe, or check out my website, akashacirce.com. And you can always do a life path astrology reading with me, where we bring the cards, the stars, and everything together to have a conversation with your inner cosmos. All right, I'll see you back here soon, everybody.